Hey everyone. So I'm a little bummed because I just finished my project and I had recorded this awesome video and then it deleted itself, which is also great. And I'm really loving that. So I'm I get to make it again. But now I know everything I should tell you. And so I'm just going to do a quick kind of walkthrough of my project, what it looks like, and then a how-to for you on a couple things. And so I would recommend doing this in Notability. That's where I did it. And so what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go to your Schoology, and in Wednesday, which is hopefully where you're at, you'll see the Pet House Project. And so in here is the directions on how to complete the pet house. And you'll notice you want to have at least five horizontal, and 5 vertical lines, and 6 slanted lines, and then at least one image of a pet. If you don't have a pet, that's fine. You can look one up, or you can ask me and I'll send you a picture of my pet. I'm going to be doing my pet. I have 3 dogs, and so it'll be a dog house for me. But if you need to borrow a pet, let me know and I will send you a picture of mine because I like to share them. And so it says first use a ruler and graph paper to sketch. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to do it in Notability. And I recommend you doing that as well. We realize that you guys might not have graph paper at home, and that's fine. I did not have graph paper at home, and so I had to use Notability. I'm fairly comfortable with Notability, and so hopefully you are as well. Let's see, you must use linear equations, and so knowing that linear equations is the straight lines using slope or point slope form, things like that. I'll talk about that when I get into the kind of directions. And it says this Desmos activity will provide a brief tutorial screen as how to create your pet house. Okay, whatever. And then there's a rubric there. But going into Notability, so here's Notability for me. So the first time I did this, I drew my axes in black and then had to change it because I used black lines on my house. So I drew them in yellow. But if you don't know how to get graph paper onto your thing, you want to hit these 3 dots in the corner, hit paper, and then I'm using that second graph. I thought this one was a little too small, and so I just did the one bigger. And so as we're doing this, what you want to do is you just kind of want to build a sketch of what your house might be. And so one thing that I did was I wanted my house to be somewhat symmetrical. And so I put little dots and I said, okay, I'm going to build my roof from here to here, and that's, oopsies. Let's see, where'd I go? Here. And that's over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I need to go over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to make my other line. Now, I recommend doing your lines in black. And what I did is I just put my thing in the middle of the highlight and went to the other highlight. And if you press and hold, it will make a straight line. And so that's how I built my house. I can show you a picture of it in a second. And so what you'll want to do is you'll want to have, let's change this font. There we go. 6 slanted lines, 5 horizontal lines, and 5 vertical lines. I did end up having more than that. And I just kind of went at random. And so I'm going to pause the video, pull up my house, and then I'll show you a picture of that. All right, so I'm going to show you a picture of my finished house on Notability. So this is just a sketch. I do actually end up changing my picture from when I sketch it on Notability to when I put it into Desmos because I just didn't really like how it looked. And so here's my house. Please don't copy it. Make your own. Be creative. It's what we love about each and every one of you. And so now, the best thing, or not the best, but like one really nice thing about Notability is you're able to kind of use colors and a lot of them. And so what I did, and I recommend doing this, you don't have to. So what I did is I used my highlighter and I highlighted a line. And then I went to my color and I used the same color to write the equation of that line. So again, I talked about writing equations of the lines. The equations that we're looking for are either slope intercept or point slope. I did all of mine in point slope form. If you'd like to do slope intercept, you can. It's totally personal preference. And then I want to talk about these. So this is a horizontal line. You're going to do y equals a number. And then you're going to do vertical lines as x equals a number. Now, I want to talk about restrictions on lines because you are going to have to do them. So the restrictions are going to be, so for slanted and, sorry, I'm trying to think, horizontal, you're going to be doing those curly brackets, and it does matter. Curly brackets, the number less than x less than a number. This number is going to be the x value farthest to the left. And then this one is going to be the x value farthest. So if I spell farthest right, to the right. Now notice that I left off vertical lines. Vertical lines are going to be the number less than y less than a number. So it's going to be the same thing as what I wrote in orange, but instead of using x values, you're using y values. So I am going to get my finished house down there. I'm just going to copy this, paste it. So this is going to be, instead of x, it will be y. And then the same thing right here. So if you need to pause this and take notes on that, please do. So see, this great thing about Notability is I'm able to kind of make adjustments. In the eraser up here, you could do a whole, which is what I usually have mine on. If my computer will catch up, there it goes. So you can do whole, or you can do partial. So partial will only erase partial, like part of the line. The whole one will erase everything since the last time you picked up your pencil or your finger, whatever you're using. All right, so now I want to go up to my house and I want to write the equation of this line. So I'm going to do slope. It's kind of small. My house was bigger than this when I built it the first time, but it's fine. Just going to adjust it. See, the great thing about Notability is adjustments. So there we go. I'm going to adjust my house to there. I did it to here because now it goes through 2 perfect points. And so I'm going to go up 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm going to go over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So my M is 4/5. And then I'm just going to use this point right here. This is the point 0, comma. We're going to pretend that my line goes through right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 0, 5. So my line is going to be y minus x1, y1, 5 equals m, 4/5, x minus 0. And then what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to erase all of my work. Okay, beauty of Notability. And I'm going to take my thing and I'm going to change the color so that it's orange so that it matches my highlight. And I'm going to shrink it. And I'm just going to lay it right on top of that line. And I'm going to do this the entire way around my house. When I'm done, I'm going to bring us over to Desmos and I'm going to show you how to do that. And so I'm going to pause the video, finish my house, and then I'll meet you on the flip side. All right, so here is my house. I just went along and labeled as I went. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to Desmos. And I believe we're going to be giving you a code, but stay tuned for that. You probably won't get this far yet. So if you do, you can reach out to your teacher. Otherwise, there will be directions on that. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to click Start Graphing. And then let's bring this over here. Right here where you see my name, I went ahead and signed in. You need to do that as well. That means that you can come back and finish it later and it saves it. If you don't do that, it will disappear and then you'll be really sad because you put all this work into it and it's gone. So you want to sign in. I use my Google account. I would recommend doing that as well. And then what you want to do is you want to take your, take your equations that you found. So my first equation is y minus 7 equals 5 divided by 6, parentheses x minus 0. Oopsies. Don't forget to get outside y minus 7, x minus 0. So this is the line that I have. I don't want that entire line. I only want the slanted part of my line. Okay, so this is the first part of my roof. And so when I did this, I counted, so I add my axes, and so I counted, and I saw that it went, curly bracket, where'd it go? Curly bracket, from 0, which is less than x, which is less than, and then the farthest point to the right is 6. And so there is the line on my house. I want to show you my actual house now. So this is the finished product of my house. It looks a little wonky, but that's all right. You notice I did leave off one line right here, and I want to show you how to put that line on. And so that's going to be a vertical line, and what you want to do is you want to do x equals and then put that restriction on there. And the restriction is going to be the y value here and the y value up here. Oop, I'm going to be on this line. So I'm going to put x is equal to 4 because this is the fourth line. And then up here, so I'm going to do from 0, y up here, and that looks like 6. And so if I put this line in there, all right, so I'm going to leave you there. I am going to put a picture into this pet house. Eventually, I will make another video on that. I do want to make one note that I did forget. You need to get your pet house approved by your teacher. So what I want you to do is if you're doing it on graph paper, awesome, take a picture of it and send it to us. We'll have a Dropbox for it. Otherwise, if you're a Notability, just take a screenshot and you can throw it in that Dropbox as well. If you have questions along the way, don't hesitate to ask. We are here to help you. And as soon as I know how to put a picture into Desmos, because I'm going to have to look it up, and that's okay. We don't know everything. I will make another video showing you how to do that into my pet house. Otherwise, have a great day. Get started on your project. Best of luck to you.